Welcome back to the TWSN YouTube channel. Today, another team-specific mock draft. This one of the more interesting teams in this draft this year, the Carolina Panthers, holding the number 6 pick. A lot they can do. It's really going to come down to if they want Malik Willis or if he's even going to be there. In this mock, we can see Malik Willis went number 2 overall to the Lions, which is totally a real possibility. I think if this was the case, they're probably looking, they could definitely be looking to trade down. But the way this board has fallen is pretty realistic of late. Hutchinson, Willis, Gardner, Walker, Evan Neal. And if this is the way it falls and they decide not to trade down, Eke Ekwonu, man, here at 4, you got to be feeling real happy about that. I know the offensive line was addressed a little bit in free agency. Corbett, Bozeman, pretty solid guys. But Eke Ekwonu is a different breed of human beings in general. Massive dude. Crazy good athlete, and I think for maybe who knows? Maybe they don't even want a quarterback. Maybe they don't. Maybe they're not going to take Malik Willis. So I think that there's a good chance Eke Ekwonu probably is their dream pick. We'll see if that's actually the case. But I think you'd have to be extremely happy with Eke Ekwonu there at 6. Obviously, the Panthers don't have the most picks in the draft. They don't have a lot of early picks, so it's going to be a little interesting to see how this draft plays out because they are a team with some needs. They obviously picked that low for a reason. I know Christian McCaffrey battled a lot of injuries and whatnot, and the defense is still young, but they do have some pieces. Like I said, the defense is young and exciting. Offense, you have DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey. I love DJ Moore. I think he's one of the more underrated receivers in the league, but you still need some more talent on that team. And having one pick and this early is a little tough for them. I'm not going to lie to you, which is why I think that there is a very high likelihood that they don't stick at 6 so they can try to get more picks. Because I'm sitting here rambling on, waiting for the Panthers' next pick, and it just keeps on not coming. So, if you look at the Panthers roster, they're at the position where they can kind of use everything. They have a lot in place already, but there's nothing that's going to stop them from drafting any position at all. I think you can definitely start to look. You could kind of get some receiver compliments. I know they took their shot on Terrace Marshall last year. Didn't necessarily work out year 1. I wouldn't give up on him yet. Not a big Robbie Anderson guy. You got some good pieces in the secondary. Jeremy Chin, J.C. Horn. You re-signed Dante Jackson. You got some good pieces on the defensive line. And look, we're finally here with the Panthers pick again. We got 3 very, very quick. 137, 144, and 149. If you look at their needs on here, they have OT, top need taken care of, quarterback, interior offensive line, interior defensive line, edge. A lot of them on the defensive side of the ball, some tight end needs as well, receiver needs. I like what they have a tight end, like Tommy Trimble. The receiver could use some depth, but nothing crazy. I just see best available player, who we like, and what. So I think quarterback, they could potentially take a shot on a quarterback here, but in this case, I'm not touching any of these people. I do like Bailey Zappi pretty late for this offense. I'm not going to lie to you. Definitely not doing that right now. This is a very interesting group. I'm not liking anybody at the top of the board for them, if I'm being honest. Nobody is really... I do like Max Mitchell, but we did just give him a Ekwonu, so we don't need that. Besides Bozeman, they don't necessarily need a center. Oh, this Panthers one and stuff. I do like Isaiah Thomas a little bit here. Let's go ahead and give him Isaiah Thomas. I like some of the stuff they have on the defensive line already. But I think he's just a good value. He's just a good value there, I think. And the Panthers are in no position to turn down value at all. And I think that's kind of just what that pick was there. I still think they could use a little help in a lot of ways. They definitely need depth. We saw how much injuries impacted this team last year. I don't really think they need corner depth too much, because I do like some of these corners here, so I'm a little tempted there. If I'm looking more into the interior offensive line now, let's go Luke Fortner from Kentucky. Another guy he's a really solid guy. He can play multiple positions in the interior offensive line. I think he can start day 1 if you need him to at guard, and when Bozeman leaves, you can kind of slide him over to center. Just another good, solid offensive lineman that is going to be reliable At the very least, he can kind of learn from Bozeman and Corbett a little bit and take a little bit of time to develop. But he'll be a guy that should be ready decently quick and can kind of come in and give you production almost right away. Now, this is where things get a little interesting for them because you're trying to make the most of their picks. We talked about how this long gap they had with their picks and what they kind of could do to complement what they have. And it's tough. I think a lot of these people left aren't necessarily positions they need. They don't really need a running back. We've already addressed offensive line. Tight end isn't anything I'm dying to fill. It could be. It definitely could be because I love Tommy Trimble though, and they re-signed Ian Thomas to a longer deal. This is a little bit of a tough, awkward little spot for them with these picks. I like some of these people as players, but just finding their true fit for the Panthers is a little weird. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on Bailey Zappi here from Western Kentucky. I know you're picking this low, guys. Like, there's a little bit of slim pickings, and there's nobody that can really I don't see the long-term success of a lot of people with this Panthers team. I like what they have in place. I really do. I'm a big believer of this Panthers team, and I just think that I think Bailey Zappi can kind of come in, and I think he can compete with Sam Darnold right away. I don't think he's your long-term answer necessarily, but he can throw the football, and if you aren't aware of that, you should look up his numbers this year. He broke all of the college football records, broke Joe Burrow's records. Like, the guy produces on the field, and at the end of the day, that's exactly what you want. So I know this draft is a little bit weird for the Panthers so far, but they're in a weird situation. They've kind of sort of invested for the now, and it didn't really pan out. So you're a little thin on picks, but you have some good young guys in place. So just kind of what direction do you want to take it? I think Bailey Zappi is a very good pick there in round 5 because he's got the potential to be a starting quarterback, and that's something this Panthers team needs. Thomas Booker, love Thomas Booker here. You need some more versatility on the interior defensive line with Derek Brown. He can kind of be a good complement to him. He can be a backup to him if you really want, and he's not really a nose tackle. He's more of a 3-tech to edge to me. But he can play all 5 positions. He played 3-tech, 5-tech. He's played 9 wide. He can play nose. Obviously, you don't want to play him at nose, in my opinion. But he's just a versatile guy, and I think that's kind of the name of the game for the Panthers on the defensive side of the football. Is versatility. There's no secret about that. So I think he kind of just fits in that mold with them right away, really. And we're coming up on pick 242, one of the Panthers' last picks. And again, where do we want to go for some upside for them? Because that is what this team needs. They need to hit on a couple of these guys later. I'm not going to lie, I kind of like Abram Smith from Baylor here. He's a decent complement to Christian McCaffrey just because he provides some more of that power. But I don't think they should really spend on a running back, really. I think they have more pressing needs. Let's go ahead and give you some linebacker depth in Nephi Sewell, the brother of Penei Sewell. Maybe you can, at the very least, maybe you can use him as a little bit of a recruiting pitch down the line. But the Panthers are in a really weird situation. They have a really high pick, and then they don't pick for a long time. It's weird. It's definitely really weird. That's why from 6 to 1, they almost don't pick for 100 picks. 100 for 130 picks. That's so ridiculous. That's why I kind of think there's a good chance they move down from 6. But then again, maybe not, because you can't pass on a guy like Ikem Ekwonu there at 6. You might not be able to pass on Malik Willis. You might not be able to pass on a Kayvon Thibodeau. It's a weird draft for the Panthers. They're going to need to draft really well from 137, 144, and 149. I like the team. I do. I like a lot of the young defensive players. I love DJ Moore. Christian McCaffrey needs to stay healthy. You get a little bit of insurance with Sam Darnold with a low, no risk here with Bailey Zappi. If he fails, he fails. If he comes in and takes the job from Sam Darnold or compete long term, That's phenomenal. I'm a big believer in Zappe myself, but obviously I can see them not wanting to go quarterback because they have such a limited amount of picks. But this is kind of the route I decided to choose. They needed some interior offensive lineman help. We got a versatile piece in that. We got a pretty good rotational edge rusher, a pretty versatile defensive lineman, and a really good sideline to sideline linebacker. Really weird draft for the Panthers. They're going to have to nail it. They've drafted decently well in the past. So it's not going to shock me if we see some steals here in this range for the Panthers. But that's kind of how it worked out here. A little bit of a different one. Not a lot of picks compared to some of the other teams. But let me know how you think this worked out for the Panthers. And we're going to be having a lot of more team-specific mocks. If you want to see your team and we haven't done it yet, comment down below. And we'll make sure we get to it before draft night. That's going to wrap up this Carolina Panthers team-specific mock. And I look forward to see you guys on the TWSN YouTube channel soon.